Hey everybody, it's Scott. Good evening or good morning, whenever you're watching this. Um, Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. You're all welcome. As always, I say that. I like to welcome you like that all the time. So I wanted to bring a video to you. I don't have my glasses on this time, and I've changed the lighting, so I kind of like it this way, so less shadows. And um, anyway, I wanted to bring a video to you because there's a really interesting experience happened to me this evening and I wanted to share it. I'm a singer, and most of you who know me, or if you see my channel, there's also YouTube videos of me singing. So I'm a singer. I've been a singer all my life. I really enjoy going out to karaoke at different bars and taverns around the area that I live in. So I've been going to one place in a little town, and then I just started going to another place that's kind of in the lower suburbs, the southern suburbs of the Twin Cities. And kind of like it. It's got a lot of good energy, but you have to wait a long time to sing because there's so many people who sing, and it's just one of those things. Well, the song that I really like singing all the time now is "Walking on Broken Glass" by Annie Lennox. You know that whole walking on broken glass." So I kind of get into it, and I really like it. I can't not sing that when I go to karaoke. It's my kind of signature song. And of course, tonight I put that song in. I waited like an hour and a half to sing. And you know, if you're a singer and you do that kind of thing, I promise I'm going to get to the point, but there's a little backstory. So I was a little frustrated, and it took a long time for me to get up and sing. A few other people who'd already sang previously had sung, and I was just like a little frustrated. And I'm like, oh, am I going to get up to sing? Um, so I finally get up to sing, and it's almost midnight, and I'm like, oh, my dog is at home. I really need to get home to my dog because she misses me, and I just got her back from my ex. And so I sing my song, "Walking on Broken Glass," and I stay for the next song. And then I decide to go. The song "Walking on Broken Glass," I do it a lot of times because it's the one song that I sing that usually when people start hearing that little da 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 da, that portion at the beginning with the piano keys, I always hear people start cheering, like they're happy to hear that song. And then sometimes at other bars, like people get up and dance to that song, and nobody ever dances to sing songs that I sing because I usually would sing ballads, and this is the one song I sing that people dance to, or they cheer when they just hear it. They're like, "Oh, I love that song." So I sing my song "Walking on Broken Glass." I stay for another song, and I'm like kind of frustrated, and I just get my coat and I walk out the door. I was like I've got to get home. And then as I'm walking out, one of the other people from the bar, he was a singer as well. He's about 6'5". Um, you know, has really long gray hair. He's a retired guy, and he just stops me and says, "Hey, how are you doing?" and everything. And he has a conversation with me, and I just started talking about. It takes a long time to sing in there, doesn't it? And he's like, "Oh yeah, everybody here sings, and it's great because." And he just starts talking about all these positive things, and he and I start having a conversation um, about how he's retired, but he makes fractal art. And I was like, that really was the end. He made fractal art, and so he was really talking about art and creativity. And he was asking me, like, what do you think? He said he liked to be there just to watch the people. He's like, don't listen to what they sing, don't listen to how good they are or how bad they are, but just watch these groups of people who get together and they're singing songs that they love and that they enjoy. And it's about them sharing with one another. So that was kind of cool. We started talking about that. And then one way or another, the conversation shifted to what I do and some of the web design I do and who I do it for, holistic practitioners and how I speak their language, and some of the other things that I do about listening to folks who have had kind of bizarre experiences or paranormal, or I kind of like framed it in just like yeah, and I know a lot of people who have like some very um, interesting beliefs, and I talk with them about that. And then all of a sudden the conversation just shifted. It was wonderful. He's like, man, I think that like there's something big happening. He was just really just there's something happening, there's something going on. The world is so changed and it's so disjointed, and I feel like and he says, "Don't you feel this too?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes." And so we started talking about more and more about this, and about how he asked me, "Do you believe in like sort of X-Men thing, like we're evolving?" And I said, "Well, maybe like that, but not quite like the movies, but I do believe that we're evolving, and I think that um, you know, we're going to come to a different understanding of what life is." And he's like, "Oh, I hope so." And it was just a great conversation. It was one of those things where, as my friend Pam would put it, I was having a soul chat with someone else. And so we get to talking a little bit more, and I kind of mentioned that I believe that we're spirits having an earthly journey, and that really resonated with him. And he started saying things like, you know, the one thing that is important is right now, because we can see things in our time right now, and so that's very important. And he was like outside saying we can see the car, the highway, the road, the people. Those are what's important. It was just really great, and we both kind of agreed that we both thought that we were going to take some sort of quantum leap, either the planet or people. We weren't sure what or when. And he's like, "Do you think it's going to be 5 years from now, or?" And I said, "Well, probably 5 years from now." Or he said, "Or 5 minutes from now." It was really cool that he like just threw that in, 5 minutes from now. And then it was just a great conversation. We left. I left, and he went back inside the bar. And I got in my car, and I just started like really realizing kind of some different things. And at about 5 minutes down the road in my car, some things really started hitting me, which kind of paralleled that whole, "Do you think we're going to take a quantum leap 5 minutes from now?" So things started hitting me, and I started singing that song, "Walking on Broken Glass." Again, that um, "You were the sweetest thing that I ever knew." And it was kind of like I started to really have a shift of an understanding of that song, about relating that song to our earthly experience, and how so much of our paradigm is kind of shattered. And there's a line that says, like, "I'm living in an empty room with all the windows smashed. And I've got so little left to lose that it feels just like I'm walking on broken glass." And I kind of like, it hit me just at that 5 minute time down the road that this song right now that I've been singing and that people have been dancing of, in my heart, I knew at that moment this song was about the whole paradigm of our world kind of collapsing, shattering, um, and that we're walking on this new paradigm. We're not quite sure what's happening. Um, and it's just this, the ending of the song was really great. And I started singing in the car, and I was like, something came out that was just different with my voice. The ending of the song is about, um, lift me up, take me back, don't let me keep on walking. I can't keep on walking on broken glass. So, in that moment, when I sang that part of the song, it was really almost like a call out to the universe, um, take me from this wreckage, save me from the blast, lift me up, take me back somewhere else, take me back to where I came from, take me back from my soul's journey. Don't let me keep on walking on this shattered kind of scene of the world, or this idea that the world is shattered. We know it, and we're just walking on it. We're walking on this shattered, you know, the shatteredness of this fragmented world, and we are feeling this fragmentation of the world. How, I don't know, if I could have like had this conversation outside of a karaoke bar with someone a few years ago, and it just came out of the blue. It was just kind of like at that very moment, even though I felt like I waited a long time to sing, and I came out frustrated. I was just like, "Rrr," kind of my ego getting to me. And then I run into this guy. We have this awesome soul chat, and 5 minutes later, I felt like my whole like chakra system was just lit up when I started singing that song in the car and realizing what it meant to me at that moment. It was kind of like an activation, kind of like a little quantum leap in like my own understanding. Um, to be able to have that kind of soul chat and have that divine timing. I did a reading this morning for my group, my Into the Wild Woods group. So this is ties into that, but I'm reading like the Indigo Angel cards along with the Power of Surrender cards and also my Greenwood Tarot. Today was the Green Woman, and so I had the Green Woman with Pray from the Indigo Angel cards, and then Surrender to Divine Timing. And so if anything today kind of happened to me, there was an interesting kind of divine timing of me going to the bar, having to wait to sing for the right moment so that I could have that conversation, right out there. So sometimes these things happen in really strange ways. And yeah, of course, I mean, there's some other things that happened that I just picked this to like attribute to the cards, but that's okay. But just this surrender to divine timing, I could have walked out the door and not even looked at the guy, but he talked to me and we had this great conversation. So I really kind of feel like, yeah, this has been my signature song, this Walking on Broken Glass song, but now I feel like it means even more to me. And maybe I'll record that song too, just so you get to hear me sing it on my channel. So yeah, it's really high. It's a high song, but I can do it. It's kind of a nice little rock and roll kind of high song. But there was something special about that when I started singing it, and I had no idea, but people started dancing, like I said. And after tonight, I feel like there's something incredibly special about that plain Annie Lennox song from the 80s or early 90s, when she broke out on her own. Just an incredible song, and I don't know what's activating people that it hits them in this way, but every time the music comes on, people start to dance, people start to cheer, people like the song, and without even me having to start singing it. But hope you like this idea of having like your own little spirit or soul chats, being bold. I think that this is maybe a lesson that we need to have, is that you never know when you're going to have a conversation that's going to be shifting for the paradigm for someone else. So even if you do believe that we are spiritual beings having an earthly experience, you never know, like the person next to you might be feeling something very interesting themselves. They just can't put words to it. And if anything tonight kind of showed me was that, yeah, I think that there is some sort of awareness going on collectively. Really interesting, when that guy left, he gave me a hug. There were two other guys who came out of the bar who knew him just sort of casually, and they shook his hand and gave him a hug too. It's like there was this energy that we created about this like soul chat talk that we had, where it really felt peaceful around us, and it felt like there was camaraderie of the people coming out of the bar, and it was kind of huggy. It was really interesting. So yeah, you never know. Be open to like those times where you might have a real connection, spirit chat, and it can come out of the blue, but those things might change you, and for the better. That quantum leap is it going to happen in 5 years or 5 minutes? Maybe both. So I hope you like this video. I'll talk to you soon again. I just wanted to share this while it was fresh in my mind. Have a great night. Namaste.